Good day, and thank God it's Friday once again, right here at the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Shola Rogers.
And my name is Dolupo. Good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's a wonderful day today. It is Friday, another beautiful day of the week. You say thank God it's Friday. The week kind of rounds up today, and it's beautiful. As if you're in Nigeria, you're probably gonna have another
Long
weekend. As the new week will most likely start on Tuesday for a lot of people. Anyway, it is Friday, so we're going to definitely have a lot of music. There are a lot of music that has been released, and we're going to talk about them. Then also, of course, there's a bit of politics here and there, but there's a lot more issues going around with students being evacuated from Sudan, Nigerians. There's also the story of petrol subsidy removal, which there is a lot of controversy between yesterday and today. Those are stuff that we're going to get to talk about. Also, maybe if we have time, there's a speech that President Buhari said that is kind of throwing jabs at opposition, which we don't see a lot of that though, but so why not if not? So yeah, that and a few other things and stuff we're going to be talking about from now till the end of the hour. So I hope that you have time, sit down, relax, and enjoy the show. Okay, so as we begin, it definitely is New Music Friday. So we're going to start with music. And a few people that I've released a few things that is definitely worthy of note. I think Zlatan. Let's start with Zlatan. Zlatan has his EP, ologo. And okay, what do you think about it?
Okay, so Zlatan actually dropped a single from this EP a couple of days ago. She has weeks ago now, and it was such a beautiful song. Like, you know Zlatan now more for the up tempo, loud,
Straight kind of music,
straight dance music kind of thing, yeah. But ologo was deep, like it was something that had a very massive positive message, and it was a song that I liked. Now, so the EP is out now, and there's this relationship he has with Odumodu that I don't get. Like, this guy's actually vibe a lot, you get. And so the song that I listened to is the one with Odumodu, and I think Jerick. Yeah, that's the song that I listened to, and I'm like, okay. Zlatan has put in a lot of work in the studio, and it's showing now, and it's even trending on social media as we speak, So on that EP, I think I've listened to just 2 songs, and the 2 songs that I have listened to, I really, really like.
Okay, so I think I listened to the old EP, yeah, and there are a few songs on there that actually sounds really familiar. Like, other than the ologo, I remember there was Jaboti, very nice song actually, that is on the EP. There's Hasta La Vista by Young Jonn that he had released before, and out of like 6 songs, you already released 3 songs before. Like, what's the plan?
Well, it made it into a body of work, so that's what it is.
It's almost like you're not giving us a lot of new stuff. You're just recycling what you have.
You can't say that, because in building an album, at times you can actually bring back your singles.
But it's not an album. If you have
it's
album,
an extended play.
Yeah, if you have an album of 10, 15 songs, that's different. You have only 6 songs, and we've already had 3 or 4 of it before.
It's not a crime. People do that a lot. People put out singles, I don't know. And it feels like it needs to be a part of his album. So I actually don't have a problem with that's why I didn't even mention those songs, because I've known them for a while.
That's the point. Like, okay, so
but
I honestly, Is it a bad body of work? No, it's actually not bad to listen to. It's actually nice, even if you are not the regular Zlatan up tempo kind of music. It is actually very nice songs. Trust me, it is very good to listen to. That's just the grouse I have with it. Like, okay, I was expecting a lot of, and I'm like, I played everything and I was doing something else. And then I heard the first song and I'm like, this song sounds familiar. Then I heard the second one and I'm like, okay, what are we listening to here? What's the plan? That's it for me. Like, let's be a little bit more creative. I would have thought that he would be a little more creative. Anyway, talking about albums, Rema has now officially released his Rave and Roses Ultra. I think that's supposed to be a deluxe version of his album Rave and Roses. I have not listened to the new songs on that album, but it's Rema, so I'm not surprised if it comes up like that.
Okay, I have listened to Don't Know Me. I've listened to, I don't know if it's titled Hove or HOV. You get?
Oh yeah.
And there's another one. There are three of them that I've listened to, and I like all three. And I know it's actually been getting a lot of stick online for one or two of them. Some people were saying stuff like, "Oh, it's a sample of someone's song, some Omah song, and all of that." People not understanding how music work at times. Like, even if you hear something similar, it doesn't mean that they've lifted up someone's song. And if they do, they actually, in the day and age that we're in now,
it's not easy to just lift people's songs without giving them credit.
Yeah.
So for some of these things,
I heard that Rema, the two that I've listened to, and yeah, Charm is the other one. So I listened to two, and of course we already heard the one that he dropped. I think it was a week ago or so.
Yeah.
So Rema is balling and all, still doing his own style of Afro beats, or Afro pop or whatever you want to call it. Because again, at times it leaves you confused. Like, okay, is that trap? Like, Rema is a good trap artist. I'm sure he's a good rap artist too, but he's more comfortable with
trap. Yeah, his kind of music.
Trap and everything. Then he likes to sing a lot, And every time you hear it now, it's him. Another banger, it's Rema. So for me, I like, and it shows that he's actually been very busy. That in between all the tours and shows,
still has time to record music.
Music in the studio.
Yeah, very nice. Speaking of Omah, so Omah seems to be the artist on this week's version of Soweto.
Yeah. So if we go by Dolupo's cynical but extremely funny intro about the song Soweto, as recorded by Victony, you would realize that it's like a series now, So maybe at the end of the day, we're going
to have a Soweto album.
Yeah, it's just Soweto and all.
And they are going to suck up all the energy out of the song. It's not a bad song. It's not a bad remix. I think it's just getting boring.
I was waiting for your but, because when you say something and it's trailing.
No, it's a nice song. It is a nice remix, yeah? It will be a nice remix if we just had the song and the remix. Like I said, it's almost every week now we have a remix of Soweto. There are like 3 remixes or something now. Like, okay, cool. Wait, a few people have done it, and you remember, I think was it DJ Tunes or something. There was this particular song.
Yeah.
I can't remember the song now.
Ricardo Banks also did it.
With
Ozumba
Badiwe. Honestly, I don't think that EP or whatever it was as successful as he thought it would be. I think that whenever people do those things, personally, I think that it becomes too much. People get bored. But it happens every time. People seem to do it every time when they have a song that is really huge, and all that. But
another aspect that
it's not
you're not considering is that as artists, they also get requests. people are gonna come through and say, "Oh man, I need to jump on this song with you. I like this song. I think it's gonna be nice." I know. So at times it's not just the artist.
Going all the way.
When Fuse did that massive song that he had, you know, there's I think it's a Southern African or East African version of it.
Which
Finesse.
of the songs?
Finesse.
Okay.
You know?
Oh yeah. I get it.
It wasn't him, but it was people saying, they wanted to.
I think it
do a
was
remix,
DJ
you know.
Tunes. I can't remember the song exactly. I think it was him and Mayorkun. I can't remember. There was one very huge song that I feel that if you're going to do stuff like that, then maybe do different versions that appeal to different people. Like if there is an East African version of that song, there is a hip hop version of the song. Do you understand? There is like a Nigerian Afrobeat version of the song. That maybe the same song that appeals to different people, not the same song with the same kind of rhythm that you're looking at and is about the same set of people is appealing to. I think it gets boring. I think that's where the twist is.
Let's see how this will work.
We've seen a few people do it, but I think it has worked more. I think even Yemi Alade does a lot of those things. Like when we see same song, but maybe sung in a different language, or maybe there's a different artist from a different area that they have a different genre that, you know, is added to it. It definitely gives it a different vibe completely. So yes, that. But on this one, we definitely will see how this works.
I'm just going to chip in that.
Are we done with the remixes?
Omah and Victony are an amazing blend together. Like, and again, there's something about Omah. There's just something about that guy. The world has not seen a quarter. In fact, he's still scratching the surface because that guy is extremely talented, and I like their version of Soweto.
Okay, so another song for me that I would not say that he did it for me, because I think that I didn't used to think that I really liked this artist, but looking now, I think I like him a lot because I really feel that he can do a lot more. He's doing a lot. He can do a lot more with songwriting, with singing. I think he's a very talented artist, even though we don't see a lot of him. Is DJ 808 featuring Peruzzi with Cover Me. When I saw featuring Peruzzi, I honestly was genuinely excited because we don't see a lot of Peruzzi these days. Even though there's a lot of talks about him writing songs for people, maybe he's channeling his career towards that.
He's always been a songwriter.
No, what I mean is that he's not doing a lot of music for himself these days.
He actually dropped something not too long ago.
But not like, we don't see a lot of him like a lot of people. We don't. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's more focused on his songwriting and all that. So when I saw this, I'm like, oh, okay, nice. Like, because I think he's a fantastic singer, really. I think he has a beautiful, beautiful voice. And I listened to the song and I was honestly waiting for the punchline. And I'm like, okay, where does this get wonderful? And the song ended.
To be honest, I have not heard the song. I didn't have time to. But now that you're looking for a punchline, I'm going to go back to go listen to it.
I hope you do, because I didn't.
I will go back to listen to it now. It's not about punchline. I'm just saying that I want to go back and listen. I'm not searching for a punchline. No. You're the one that's searching for a punchline.
It was just really flat. I'm sorry. The song was just really, really flat. Like, I was really, really expecting a lot from Peruzzi. But anyway, I think the DJ 808 is, I think South African. So was it like, yeah, it was a very nice vibe though. Shout out to the DJ. It was beautiful beat. Like, the beat was really banging. It had a very piano, you know, beautiful beat. But
you know these South Africans now. They don't play around.
It was really nice.
They don't play.
But
man.
the singing, I don't know about. Anyway, talking about all that also, his former label mate as well, Mayorkun, has For Daddy.
I've listened to it. I like it. I like the beat. I like the rhythm. And
I want to ask a very genuine question.
yes, please go ahead.
Which song do you not like?
The songs that I don't like, at times I don't listen to them or I don't talk about them.
Okay.
You know, on the list of songs that came out today.
No. I'm just saying, like, generally.
There are quite a few of them. And maybe when you hear me say I listen and I like now, we're not going to get up to 10. It's, you see, apart from analyzing music, I need to listen as part of the team working on the library.
Yeah.
And you need to know what other people want to listen to. It's not necessarily.
No. Of course.
That's where I'm coming.
No,
you asked me a direct question and I'm trying to respond to it. I need to know also what other people are listening to. So I check out on social media. I check the trends. I check but most especially for me, it's the spirit. The first line on a song either takes me off or keeps me listening. If you have me listening to your song for 30 seconds, I think you've got me. If I listen to your song for 30 to 45 seconds, I already know what it is. So which songs don't I like? The songs that I feel are not good enough.
Okay, anyway, Young Jonn came with Aquafina.
No free adverts, but some people removed the label on this bottle that I'm holding. Aquafina is a nice song. His record label is doing well to help him push it, you know. But one of the things that I hope that they're going to do more is to really promote these guys. You see the transition of Young Jonn from your
he seems
regular
to be doing a lot more by himself
to more of an artist and everything. Sure, you get
than the label doing a lot
so
for him.
This is me urging. I'm not calling them out. I'm just urging the record labels, you know, especially with artists that are releasing, you know, work. They're putting out songs.
They're putting out a lot of work.
You know, when Dolupo goes on about not hearing from some people, at times I laugh at her, like, you think it's easy like that? Like, because as a recording artist, there's several aspects of your business that, you know, you would wish other people were helping you run. And that's why you're on a record label. And a lot of these guys are assigned to this label or the other, and it's just on paper. You don't really find that kind of support that they require. So you see, at the end of the day, they end up being the ones to source for their songs, to get the producers. Even these days, they own their own studios, all their studio equipment.
Yeah.
They have to shoot the videos by themselves, a la Blaqbonez, or go and look for money to get TG or Mori or any of the other amazing, you know, videographers out there. So it's a lot. But regardless, I'm actually impressed with Young Jonn's song, Aquafina.
Okay, all right, that's cool. I have nothing to say. Anyway, there is also Budge and Ayra Starr with Line of Fire. On this one, I think that Ayra Starr is who she says she is. I think that there's really nothing that you can take away from it. And I like the vibe of this song, especially with Budge and with his way of music. It just blends. I think this is not a bad song to listen to at all. You?
I have listened to it. One of the things that I'm really happy about is how busy Budge has been. Like, Budge is really putting out work on a regular, and he's collaborating and he's doing stuff. And the Budge and Ayra collaboration sounded really nice to me. I liked it.
Yeah. Anyway, before we leave that, AQ and Blaqbonez with Family. We know that this is not the first time AQ and Blaqbonez are working together, and they're two individual musicians. These days, I'm not even sure you can call Blaqbonez a rapper anymore, because
he sings, he raps, he directs, he's multi-talented.
but
you know?
I maybe because of the kind of music that I like. I was actually looking forward to it, and I personally feel that AQ is one of the most talented rappers in Nigeria.
True that. Very true.
So it was, call it biased, but I wasn't. It wasn't like I was looking for something that was bad about the song. Let me put it like that.
You were not impressed.
No,
okay.
No. I'm saying I wasn't looking out for something that was bad in the song.
Okay.
So let me just put it like that. Maybe that's why I don't have anything bad to say.
Okay. AQ. Oh, okay. We have a message on YouTube. Omokayode Alejo says, "Oh, well done, Mister. Thanks, brother. God bless you, man." So I said it here before, and I'm going to say it again. AQ is one of the hardest working rappers in this country. Like, he had a joint album with MI.
Yeah.
I had a joint album with Brimo. In between those two albums,
he dropped an album.
He dropped his own album, dropped a couple of singles, appeared on 1 or 2 songs. And this is him, not resting on his oars now. He's actually doing something with, one of my favorite people out there, Blaqbonez. Every time I think about Blaqbonez, I smile or laugh because I think that Blaqbonez is a businessman that needs to be studied if you're into the business of music in Nigeria. He has his way of creating awareness about his projects, and he has his way of grabbing attention. There's a time Blaqbonez hit the streets somewhere in Lekki or so, and he was hawking his music in traffic
by himself.
And people started talking about it. Some people were poking fun at him, but they didn't get the concept. What he was doing,
it's not about what he was
drive
buying.
attention.
Yeah, it was the attention.
Do you think he cared about what he was selling? He doesn't care, But he got what he wanted, the attention, and that made people go listen to his music and say, "Oh, this guy is crazy," and all of that. And now this is Blaqbonez with AQ.
AQ, yeah.
So, again, but for me though, I would have wanted a straight rap song from this tune.
Yeah.
Do you get?
That's why I said that these days.
I like the song, but I would have
not even
preferred
heard a lot of rap from Blaqbonez anymore, so maybe that's why I wasn't surprised. But it was fine.
I would have preferred a straight rap song
AQ is fine with me.
like AQ and Blaqbonez.
Yes.
But so just go catch this guys though. They're out there.
Finally, Niniola has All Eyes on Me.
I have listened. Nini has gone back to Nini.
Yes.
The last song she did was the Nini that I want to see more. I don't want to see less of this one. No. I want to see more of the Nini that can sing. The ballad singing, nice Nini, song singing, Nini. I know. But this particular one is another dance hall thing, like, as in not dance hall, sorry, but another dance song. Like, it's gonna make you dance. It's the kind of song that if the DJ plays it, you want to say, DJ, stop him, play him again. That kind of stuff. So she's done that, and a big shout out to her.
I think it's a very nice song.
For being,
I just
consistent.
feel that the lyrics are very disjointed. So, like, I think the what's it called now, the hook or the chorus, the lyrics are a little disjointed. Like, when you hear something like that, the first line, the second line, and they're like, I think there's a part where she was singing first, and then there's Moriri. I'm like, what? Where does that come from? Does it work? I think a lot of times they do it for the sake of rhymes and all that, but can we have more like cohesive? So
before we leave
lyrics,
okay, I get what you said. I'll go check that out again. Before we leave New Music Friday, I'm going to talk about Laycon, former Big Brother.
Yeah, Laycon has a new song.
2 singles. 2.
Oh, okay, I listened to Shine.
There's Shine and there's LOL. Now, Shine is nice. This is Laycon singing.
Mm-hmm.
LOL is Laycon rapping. That's what I say about these guys now. Like, talent take for you. Like, they have too much talent.
Mm-hmm.
But on LOL, one of the things that I like, is the rhythm of that song. The other thing I like is the shout outs it was giving while rapping, and is, hailing Olamide, Burna, Wheezy, and all of them. And I'm Laycon, nice touch there. I sure you get. So on that one, I'm really happy that Laycon is back. He actually took time out to go get his masters, in the UK. So he's back in Nigeria after getting, adding that feather to his cap. Another person that I'm going to talk about before we leave new music is an artist called Fresh ATL. A big shout out to Fresh ATL. He's based in ATL actually, and he reached out to Boom Radio, sent us a mail and all of that, sent us his music, and it's really good. Like, you see someone and he's not a Nigerian, I think he's Sierra Leonean heritage, but in America, and he has an Afrobeat song. And
Okay,
no, wow,
we see a lot of that. Yeah. I think I saw a few weeks ago. I saw Chinese Chinese artists.
Yeah, Korean
with an
artists.
Afrobeat
Yeah,
song. I'm like, oh, wow.
Korean artists are doing a lot of Afro
I'm
beats.
like, at this point,
now.
if the owner of the Afro beats
If you don't take
if you're
time,
not careful, these people will
they will
be,
just piano you people.
especially with the what's it called of AI now. I
Yeah.
don't know.
All right.
Anyway, let's move on from music. It's so before we leave that, finally, if you are going to by 5 p.m. today, 5 p.m. tomorrow, and 5 p.m. on Sunday, you can catch all the songs right here on Boom Radio NG. So definitely please do not miss out on that. Now let's move on quickly, and let's move on to the issue of Nigerians, specifically Nigerian students leaving Sudan. And we know that there were updates of how they were being moved from Sudan to Egypt, where they can be airlifted. Good news is I think that there were stories of how Nigeria has finally gotten clearance from the Egyptian airspace, where that they can. So the Nigerian Air Force, I think Air Peace, and I think one or two other airlines are going to be moving people out at the same time. Now, before we leave on that, I was going to talk about the video that came out yesterday that got a lot of people talking. How the students were stranded in the middle of nowhere because the what's the word now? Because it said the drivers said that they were not paid, and if they were not paid, they were not going anywhere yet. Which I think is a very, very sad thing to happen. I think that whoever is in charge of the logistics, I know that the federal government had paid for those things that's come out, say that the Federal Executive Council had approved it. The first things first, I'm sure that a logistics company was paid. So maybe somewhere, somehow, that money was not disbursed as at when due. When we take that out, my next issue is the videos that were made. Should those videos have been made? This is my opinion anyway.
Yeah.
Should those videos have been made? Mm-hmm. Yes. Should those videos have been made the way they were? I think not.
Okay.
I think that video had reeked of some self-entitlement.
Okay.
Now, was it right, especially in the middle of nowhere? I feel that you could still pass across your message without being condescending. People need to realize, and I actually went in search of this, and I saw that, take the US for example, those are our sinner climbs. For everybody that is being moved from any country, Ukraine, Sudan, anybody, if you cannot pay for your flight ticket back to the US, it is added, you're giving like an IOU.
Yeah, you have to pay.
And you have to pay overtime.
Yeah.
Last I checked, there's nothing like that in Nigeria, at least not yet. Of course, we know that even this Nigerian Diaspora Commission was just recently put up. There was really nothing like that we really, really had before. So, whether we like it or not, is the Nigerian government doing a lot of these people a favor? Yes. I think that the main people that they have an obligation to is maybe people that the Nigerian
staff.
government, the diplomats, if not, you're on scholarship from Nigeria, if they're funding something that you're doing there and all that, those are the people they have an obligation to pick. Do the Nigerian government have an obligation to every Nigerian? Yes. But how many Nigerians were told the Nigerian government or informed the embassy that you were going to Sudan or you had gotten to Sudan? None. Who's going to pay for all this transport? The Nigerian government. Is it taxpayers' money? Yes. But also in that same vein, you're not even living in Nigeria, so you're probably not even contributing to this taxpayers' money. You're not living in Nigeria, And where money that is probably supposed to be used for us in Nigeria, they're used to airlift people, which is I do not have a problem with. But I have a problem with our sense of entitlement. I feel that there are things that we can pass across messages and say things without being condescending, without being uncouth. The honest truth is that the Nigerian government could have decided to leave people there, let everybody. I saw there was a headline yesterday. There was even a story where the UK government was telling its citizens to leave.
Find your way out.
Find your way out before the ceasefire. The honest truth, people are making noise about it, but nothing is going to happen.
Before the ceasefire ends.
Nothing is going to happen. If Nigerian government decided they were not going to move people other than their diplomats, we would just have made noise. Okay. Maybe even do a few protests, but nothing would have happened.
All right, I've listened to you, and I get your point, and this is my take now. I think one of the biggest failings of government is its lack of, the ability to create awareness. Yeah. Its lack of ability to educate people properly, to make them understand, what is and how it is and why it is.
It is, yeah.
People need to realize, you give people a passport and there are some writings there. I don't know. I've never checked mine. I don't know if you've checked yours. The only thing I check is when I get a visa and they're telling you that
you want to confirm.
They're even telling you that this visa service is not guaranteed. They can refuse.
You can get there and then they will send you back.
So the final print in your passports, if it's there, Nigerian government, I apologize. But if it is not, think about putting stuff like that in that kind of place.
Yeah.
That this passport, is used for this purpose for identifying you, this, and for traveling. It is not the government's job to do this. Do you understand? That's one.
Maybe.
2, educate people, like we said, create programs on radio, TV, and bring it into the schools. Let people understand. So, you see, at times, it's a lack of knowledge on the part of people because everybody assumes that government is Big Brother. It's the truth. People assume it a lot. I say, it's Big Brother. Oh, why are there people sleeping on the streets? Why? Look, the whys are there, but the hows are not necessarily the way you see it.
It's not as easy as you make it seem.
You're watching those movies, those American movies, and you see them flying an Air Force jet and they go rescue people and everything, and you think that's what they do all the time. No, not necessarily. Because most times, if you don't get it, they actually prioritize, their staff. Then, of course, if you are a foreign person in a foreign land, one of the best places for you to go is your embassy. However, how many embassies can contain a large chunk of people? You get.
There's conversation of about 5 million Nigerians in Sudan.
Yeah.
There's talks about how people are not even properly documented. People that have never been to Nigeria before. But I remember there was the statement from the Nigerian Diaspora Commission boss where she was saying that these people now want to leave. They have zero documentation.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So these are some of the issues.
Those are issues.
But the ones I even want to tackle still is the airlifting people and the issue with now whoever was given the job of arranging those buses has failed.
Oh yeah, very messed up.
Now those students were also unfairly stopped, in the middle of nowhere. Like they said, some people said no, that there is close to a park, whatever it is. A contract was breached. Why didn't you pay them as at when due?
As at when due, yeah.
So when the government fails, we must be able to tell them, thank you for, airlifting Nigerians and transporting them from Sudan to Egypt. But the people who you sent to do the job are not doing it the right way. This is NEMA. I think it's NEMA that is in charge.
Yeah.
So whoever it is that has not done their own homework in the area of paying the drivers has messed up. Now, the younger generation still has this distrust of the older generation and things of government. So a lot of times you see them, blow hot about things. you could have still passed that message, like you said, without. I saw someone even abusing Abike Dabiri and calling her a liar. That what they that she said, oh, that it's been resolved and they have moved on. She get, and someone now said you're a liar. That what they did was that they had to give up their passports as some kind of a shorty for the drivers to move on. To take them to Egypt. You understand? Which is some sort of guarantee that they will get paid, and all of that. If that is the case, it's a sad one. But you still don't have to be disrespectful to pass your message.
That's
I get
point.
that.
That's my
but
point.
government
Like,
should avoid it by educating people. Even now, one of the things that the government should have done is, it is not our job. Like, emphasize the fact that we are not supposed to do this, but we are doing it because we care for our people. Do you understand?
That's where my issue comes with.
You take the pressure on without
actually
breaking it down and explaining. And that's why it is.
That's why when the federal government, but
when the airpiece owner said, "Look, he's going to do this and do that," everybody started using that about it. Now go and check it out. Now it's not the. No, he even says he wants to do it for free. So maybe he will refuse to get paid. That's it. But it's not only him. There are other airlines and the Nigerian Air Force also will be involved in fact, they are in Egypt as we speak. So any moment from now, you're going to see that people are going to get back to Nigeria, But government on its own part, even in the good things that you are doing on your own part, I think that you are failing in the area of creating awareness with a lot of things. You need to let people, and also educate people about what should be and how it should be.
When you leave the country, these are the things that you're entitled to. This is what happens. Should, in case you need to, some of the things that you do. I think that it's what is wrong, but at the same time we can do things with more civility.
Yeah. All right.
That's it.
There's more.
Yeah. So moving on from that. Now, like I had said earlier, the federal government has declared that Monday, May 1st, a public holiday to mark Workers' Day. I think this whole month of May it started
No, but this is May you're talking about. It was April.
It was April. It started with Easter. Then 2 weeks after there was Ramadan holiday. Now barely a week after that is May 1st again. Shout out to federal government. Anyway, now
I just want to say that we have too many holidays in Nigeria, but I understand why Nigerians also need the breaks. However, we should still look for a way to reduce the holidays.
Reduce it to 1 day.
We need to look for a way to reduce
and all that. But anyway,
like you can actually alternate the May Day celebration maybe every other year, or once in 3 years, or once in 4 years. But at least the day is still going to be marked. What is important is that in the last
still going to be
May
29,
Day celebration under President Buhari, you should come and announce, the salary increment for workers. That would be some kind of beautiful May Day president for Nigerian workers.
There's still, we don't know, there's still the census matter, and they're still going to be May 29. Wonderful. Anyway, now there's a story that is very interesting because we're getting like different conflicting stories from it. Why? It's because yesterday there was an announcement about the National Economic Council that has said that they're halting the planned petrol subsidy removal. I think this was after the valedictory. Meeting that they had, and there was a lot of stories. And the story was that there was going to be that because they don't want the new administration to start off on subsidy removal immediately, so that they were still going to do a lot of talks with other. A lot of transport workers, the labor unions and all that. There's still a lot of meetings and all that going on, and also involve even the transition committee of the incoming government, that are going to involve them a lot in what's happening and how they're going to talk about it. Now, only for us today to see the story where they have now said, according to the Minister of Finance, that there was no conversation about that. And first thing in my mind is that, is it just me, but this auntie likes a lot of controversy?
Not necessarily. She's just doing her job. personally, I feel that subsidy has to go, and I also agree now that the timing might not be perfect. You know, a new government takes over, and the day after or two,
kaboom,
and there will be protests. There will be all sorts of things. Because the truth is, we need to, as Nigerians, we need to start, you know, conditioning our minds to expect some kind of hardship. Because the refineries that were hoping to give us succor, as of today, they're not operating yet officially. I know they've been doing tests and all of that, but the Dangote refinery, the other Port Harcourt that has been fixed, you know, at least to a certain level, we don't know because they've not said it, right? So fuel at the pump is definitely going up. What the price will be, we can't even forecast, because this is like proper deregulation now. It's like your shawarma or your beer or your Coca-Cola or your kerosene
or your diesel.
You're even talking power. I'm talking about regular things now. They are deregulated. They are not subsidized. So on your street, you could get to buy soft drinks, same brand, same quantity at 3 different prices.
Oh yeah,
that's like a proper open market scenario now. And you know, again, we were somewhere yesterday, and something that would cost about 30 something naira, about 30 something thousand naira, was sold for 80 something thousand naira. And I'm like, yeah, am I not in the wrong business like this? This is more than 100% profit now.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So that's what's going to happen, and we need to start bracing ourselves and preparing our minds for it. That, man, there was a time when we used to buy fuel at this amount, but eventually I see the prices coming down. When, I don't know, but I know that eventually, with proper
it would
proper
stabilize.
competition and no handouts from government or anything, it will only be about people who have the funds to go into the business.
Yeah.
You know, I feel so.
I totally agree. Now, my issue with it is that yesterday, I remember writing that story, and the statement was signed by the media aide to the finance minister, only for her to come out today to say that, make up your mind. Do you get, like, I'm like, okay, make up your mind. What's happening here? What's the plan? Do I think that it should be removed? Oh yes, but the honest truth is that even for the incoming government, I think that for them to be able to have a smoother transition, there should be maybe 1, 2, 3 months. I remember that part of the manifesto of the APC presidential candidate was that they were going to have there was going to be mass transit, and a lot of those, there were going to be procurement of a lot of buses around the whole 36 states, and how those buses are going to run on gas, so it's not even going to be dependent on the expensive fuel PMS that, of course, which will not particularly increase prices of buses and all that. But I'm like, even for you to get that done, by the time you get into government, I think it will at least take a few weeks to get funds for that, to be able to deploy those funds to bring. I doubt if we're at the immediate, there's not going to be a lot of importation of those things. So I feel that those things are going to take at least a few months.
Yeah.
Maybe halting it maybe till the end of the year might not be a bad idea.
Yeah. Again, talking about mass, movement of people, mass transportation. The beauty of it is that using gas, which government has been trying to get people to use, would really be helpful, because PMS is very, very expensive and gas is cheaper. You get, and Nigeria has gas in abundance.
Exactly.
Gas is cheaper. And there's a story that, I would have wanted to talk about yesterday, but it's still very relevant today. It's in line with this thing that you're talking about. And it has to do with the Owando Clean Energy Limited. We're not paid for this, but it's something that is in line with what we're discussing now.
Okay.
And their procurement, in partnership with the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, and their procurement of electric mass transit buses for Lagos State. So the BRT buses that you see,
I think I saw a story about having electric buses and all that. Yeah,
12,000 over the next 7 years. Sure, you get. Over the next 7 years, they're going to roll out 12,000 buses, but some of the buses are already on ground as we speak. Now, there are smaller Nigerian creators too, who are also, putting out electric vehicles and stuff. We need to start encouraging
those
and
things.
empowering them.
Definitely, it's very, 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 very important. Now talking about that. Anyway, let's move on from that. As we're now going to what is wrong? Okay. Now we're going to a story where this is also very interesting. The Federal High Court has now declined the request to stop the 2023 census. So it is said that there are a few people that have decided that the census should not hold.
Yeah, one of the reasons that the person who went to court gave is that, one, they're not ready. They're not financially ready, and they've not shown people how prepared they are, even the equipment that they're going to use.
Well, how can you say that they're not financially ready? You don't know their pocket.
But you do know that the government was talking about sourcing for funds a few weeks ago, and they've not come out to say that they found the funds.
Exactly, but they never said that they haven't.
But they never said that they do.
That's my point. Like, we don't know which is which.
So how much awareness have they created for you to know
I agree,
that this thing is happening next week?
They never said that
next week.
It's not happening. So
okay,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but they never said that they were ready. That's the truth. Oh, it's gonna be. Oh, then the president will announce, and the president will announce. I personally was affected. Members of my family were affected by the news of a census that's supposed to be from
there's a story now that
it's
probably is going to be moved. I think
that's exactly what people are talking about.
The minute is going to be moved, then there's no point.
That's
anymore.
Exactly why people went to court.
Like
so I totally
if it's not
support
done by that
the court
week,
case.
If it's not done by next week, I don't see it happening under President Buhari's administration anymore.
Why the rush for a census? Why the sudden need for a census? And you had 8 years to organize the census. You never did. So you have to do it 2 weeks or 3 weeks before you leave government. What exactly is the plan here?
I think the coming
don't make sense
administration is going to be dealing with a lot. Because if they don't do this census now, because even with the census they will do now, there's the collation and all that will still have to be done by the incoming administration. There's the issue, like we said, of fuel subsidy. There's a lot that I think that remember that there's still the issue of Naira.
Yeah, but at least we're talking census now. You're talking about what's going to happen to the next government.
Yeah, I'm just sure saying that there's a lot of issues that are going to happen at this point. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. Quickly, we had talked about a story I think last week of a teenager that was remanded for making a prank call in Lagos State. Now, according to the court, there's now been a judgment for it. There's been a 1 month. He's now been sentenced to 1 month in jail, or fine and 1 month community service.
Yeah, the person in question, of course, pleaded guilty to this charge and has opted for the option of a fine and obviously community service for 1 month. For me, this is a landmark judgment, as trivial as it might seem to some people. It's a landmark judgment in the sense that I feel that a lot of lives will be saved with this judgment. A lot of resources will be saved with this judgment. You can't just continue to prank call essential services people, that we don't have enough of, to go to places where there are no problems, where there are places that there are problems. Just because you have access to a phone and there's data on it and there's more call credit on it. Nah. So for me, it's just something that I feel was well deserved. And even if it's just 1 month, or even if it's just a slap on the wrist and a fine, this young man will never make a prank call again.
Exactly.
And more like him.
I really, really, really hope, like you said, services that is not even enough already. We cannot be using very irresponsible behavior to put other people's life in danger just because you want to make fun of something. I think it's completely wrong. Also, I think that on the side of the government, there needs to be a lot more awareness about how things are done. You need to make people aware, even if it is a form of a scare tactic, that if you try it, you are going to this and this and this and this. These are laws that you're contravening. I think that it's time to put out those things. And quickly, going to Ebonyi State. Now, there's been mixed reactions that have trailed the launching of the international airport in the state. The governor has talked about how this place is supposed to employ over 400 citizens, and he also named the airport after President Muhammadu Buhari. The president is supposed to go and commission this airport next week. Now, I've seen a lot of drama about it. The color is too colorful. Does Ebonyi need an airport? Why do you need to spend this kind of money? What did this and that and that? Whatever anybody says, trust me, I have my own things I say too. But I think I've come to the conclusion that it has been built. It looks pretty cool. Can we just move on? They cannot dismantle it and return the money.
When people see something new, and when they see change, or they see something that they didn't envisage or they could not, come up with, the natural tendency is to pull it down, is to complain about it and say something negative about it until it becomes fashionable and useful. I remember when we used to display a lot of drinks on our table here at the Boom Bar, and a colleague of mine had used it to throw jabs at me once. A couple of people, these sensible ones, actually asked us what was the concept behind it. I said it's a bar, and that's what we're doing, and that's why we have this. Oh, and most of them were like, "Oh, that's cool, right?" A colleague said, "You display, do you understand?" Like, then I look around me now. Every podcast, every radio show that is streaming online, what do they have? They have drinks being shown. Do you understand? It's the same way with this airport. Oh, does Ebonyi need an airport? Does this? Yeah, they said the same thing with Ekiti. They said the same thing with Ogun State. Do you get? Yeah. But you need to realize that the people who have built these things have done their feasibility studies. That's one. Two.
It's only for the fact that we don't have to always be on extremely long queues.
The case of needing an airport in Ebonyi cannot be overstated. Look at Ibom Air.
Ibom Air
is an airline that is owned by a state government, Akwa Ibom, right? Now, the bulk of the traffic that they are getting now were traffic that used to go to Cross Rivers.
Yeah.
They used to go to Calabar. Do you understand? What are they doing now? People are flying directly to Uyo, which reduces the traffic that's going to Calabar. Less income for Calabar, more income for. So when people who live in and around Ebonyi,
I don't even think that is there another airport in the southeast? Like international airport.
Yeah, there's the one that the federal government just recently renovated and everything. You get it's an international airport. Yeah. Then of course I've flown to Imo State before.
Yeah,
or something.
No, I'm saying that the I
think there's just one international airport in the core part of the southeast eastern part of Nigeria.
So from London, I should be able to, if I'm going to the southeast, I should just go straight.
They've already started their test run. 2 planes landed there. Was it yesterday or so? And before you know it, you will find that there's business, there's traffic. There are people in Ebonyi who have to travel all the way to neighboring states. You'll be shocked at how at times you can actually go to an airport that's nearby, that is in another state, but it's closer to you than the one in your state.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with these things because Nigeria has the population and I think we also have the purchasing power for it.
We have so much. The population alone is enough. We definitely need this infrastructure. It is infrastructure. For me, is the infrastructure is making more people employed. Yeah. So really, the when you look at it, the pros and the cons, I think that it is still a better thing for Ebonyi State and Nigeria as a whole. Now, before we go, there's a story that I think is very, very sad, where it was said that a day-old baby was rescued from Port Harcourt in a waste bin. And I know things happen, but as much as I'm not a huge advocate of abortion, even though we have come to realize that some things are necessary, if it is okay for you to dump a day-old baby, then it means that pregnancy was unwanted.
Most definitely.
Now, wasn't it probably better to abort that pregnancy? One. Two, even if maybe you found out too late, the least you could do is take that child to a hospital, to a police station, anything, in a bin.
I just want to weigh in the area of education and enlightenment and awareness. The government has welfare, agencies. Mm-hmm. There are private welfare agencies also. There are motherless babies' homes and all of that. Please, if you ever feel the need to do what this lady did, don't do it. There are legal ways to do it and safer ways for you and the child. As it stands, it's even some people even track the children that they give up, even if they don't want to see them again. They still track their success and everything. But please don't be the one, to kill a life that you just brought in. The child was found, still had the placenta and everything. Thank God that girl is safe. And a big shout out to the security man who found her, and the reaction that he had to get a nurse, which was a smart move.
Yeah.
And he was also calling on the government, of River State to please ensure that the street lights function all the time. That it would have been easier for them and faster for them to maybe caught the person who did it or found the baby on time.
Exactly.
So shout out to the people who care about life and who are keeping people alive. And if nobody's judging you. If you feel the need to give up a child, do it the proper way.
Exactly.
Do it the proper way. There's nobody that's going to arrest you for it. Do it the proper way. Don't dump, a life that you brought into the world to this kind of pain.
Exactly. Also, the National Association of Nigerian Students have now issued a 7-day ultimatum to Multichoice over the plan to hike their prices. I think they said there's some 20-something% hike in those prices. Honestly, I personally don't think it is a choice. I think that anybody that chooses to want to do business with Multichoice should deal with it. I don't think that it is a national issue. If you don't like what they are doing, leave. It is optional. It's not by force. We are not living in a dictatorship. What's it called? So
it's an open market.
I think that it's completely unnecessary, personally.
And dear Nigerian students, want to channel your protest towards asking the government why they're not other streaming platforms that are licensed in the same industry. Channel your energies towards finding out what's going on with the brands that came on board and seemingly just disappeared.
Exactly.
That is the real issue. It's not the fact that a business decides to hike or reduce their prices. They will tell you the reasons why they've done it, and you have an option. Some people have decoders that they have not topped up in 2 years. And
it's your choice. It's really
so
your choice.
So if you want to do business with them, please go ahead and do business with them. And if you don't want to, but I don't think a protest is necessary.
It's necessary. All right. And on that note, that is all we take today on the Boom Bar. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back again on Monday to give you another wonderful edition of the bar. Please do have a beautiful day ahead.